now we're also making big changes in the $1 million prize.
Yeah, well, I was in that meeting, and we talked about that quite a bit. But tell people what you're doing with that.
Well, essentially, there are two major changes. First of all, it's not going to be open to everybody freely for just simply applying. They have to have a media presence. Now, that may sound rather stringent, but it means that they have to have some sort of media recognition. Now, I don't mean the local shopping paper or the chiropractic news or some such thing. But it has to be some sort of media recognition. Larry King would do. Montel Williams would do, too, you see. Aha. A little hint there. Any of that kind of appearance where you've got a media presence, one program would do it. That's the first requisite. The second one is that they have to have some academic support.
Have to fool someone before you, is
yes.
what you mean. Fool Montel, fool Larry, then come to us.
Well, that's very easy, of course. But if they can get to them.
It's a very low entry. Very low entry.
So they have to have some sort of academic support. And many of these people like Sylvia Brown and Uri Geller, have all kinds of academic support. That people, scientists who say that, oh, it's the real thing because I'm a PhD and you can't fool me. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, ho, ho.
Why do you have the academic thing in there?
Well, because there will be academics, and I want to get the academics with the same stroke. In other words, if an academic has the guts to come forward and say, yes, this guy is the real thing, as many did with Uri Geller at Targan Puthoff.
You have to have both. You have to have both. You have to have both the media and the.
You have to have both of them. Now, there are other provisions too. If another skeptical group that we recognize, and there are many of them all over the world, tests this person and they pass the test of the skeptical group, and they win any minor prize or they just win acceptance from the skeptical group, that will do as the first stage of recognition. And if they get, again, it can't be the local shopper. It can't be the
sure.
local dentist who's.
But you have a list of those
yes.
on Randi.org,
yes,
RNDI.org. You can go and find out those groups. And of the people that come to you, and this is a question that I don't care about at all, but it's one of the questions I get asked the most. What percentage, and this is just asking you to blue sky, I'm asking you to make stuff up, what percentage of people that you come in contact with who claim supernatural powers, what percentage believe it, and what percentage are real scam artists?
I think it's the majority. The vast majority do believe they got the powers because people like Uri Geller and Sylvia Brown and John Edward don't come anywhere near us. Now, Sylvia said that she didn't accept the prize. Oh, she accepted it on the Larry King live show, but she said that she didn't pursue it because I'm not a godly person. That would seem to be all the more reason to pursue it.
Absolutely, because you could save your soul.
Yeah, and Uri Geller says he won't do it because he doesn't like me. And there's another reason to do it, don't you think?
And bring you down.
And John Edwards simply says that he doesn't answer critical questions. Duh.
I'm going to start that policy. From now on, I do not answer critical questions. We're with James Randi. It's so hard not to introduce you as the amazing Randi because that's when I first knew you. But James Randi of the James Randi Educational Foundation, RANDI.org. Also, Michael Godot, as always. My name is Penn Jillette. And we have my hero, James Randi of the James Randi Educational Foundation, the Ghostbuster, I guess you could say, someone who, if you claim to have supernatural powers, Randi would love to know about it. If you can do anything supernatural, just go to RANDI.org, Randi.org. There's all the information there. Go to your local skeptics group, pass that one test. Boom, you're right in. You've got $1 million. And you've got, I think that you've got a good chance of turning Randi into a man of God and into someone that Uri Geller could like.
No, that may be too much.
That may be too much. That's the $5 million prize, turning Randi into someone that Uri Geller likes.
And incidentally, the new rules will only apply as of April the 1st.
Okay.
So that all the nudniks out there, the people who say they can fly by flapping their arms and various other things, step to the balcony. Let's see it. Those people can still get in on it up until April the 1st. April the 1st, we put the new rules into effect.
Have you had people with the strength of character to go up to the preliminary test, to have you demonstrate that, and to say, well, I guess I was wrong?
We have had a few occasions of that. Now, one occasion was when we were testing dowsing in Australia with our good friend Dick Smith. And we're in his office, and we had the 11 dowsers there who had just failed miserably in their tests. Didn't come anywhere near their expectations. And Dick asked them the critical question. He said, raise your hand, and they were on video at this time, raise your hand if you feel you still have the power of dowsing. And all 11 hands shot up in the air, because there was obviously something wrong with the way the tests were done. You see, that's the way they reason or fail to reason. But one fellow drew his hand back down slowly, and Dick zeroed in on him and said, you lowered your hand. He said, yes, well, maybe I'm not so convinced now that this is a real power that I have. And Dick chortled and said, wow, we got 1 out of 11. We've never gotten that percentage at all, ever. And I said to him, Dick, relax. You know, I think that within a week or two, he'll be calling us back, and he'll say, oh, it was due to Jupiter was in Sagittarius or whatever.
I don't know. I do have faith in people to turn around and to learn.
Well, this fellow did call us back, and he found out why it was. It was the wireless system that we were using. They put out electromagnetic radiation, which interfered with the dowsers.
Aren't the Australians the one who did the competition where they had any stranger come up and do it? They had people just in the crowd come up and take the dowsing test, and all of the dowsers failed, but one strange lady, of course, as you would expect in chance, hit all of the targets, and she became a professional dowser. So it had the opposite effect, I believe, of what they intended.
That was not connected with my organization, Godot.
No, okay, sorry.
Well, one dowser there did, he made us laugh, and at the same time we felt so sorry for him, because he had a forked stick, you see, and that's the traditional dowser's tool, and he had a little screw-on business at the end where he could put a little vial of petroleum or something like that, which is the substance he was looking for, you see, or a little silver tip and a gold tip, and he had the gold tip on, and he was looking for gold out in this lot, and the rod twitched up and down, and the gold flicked up in the air and fell on the ground. Oh, all the dowsers walked in. Oh, we got to find it. They never found it. It's out in the lot someplace still. And they never found the gold tip to the dowsing rod.
Because of radio waves.
Oh, obviously,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, you know, for $40 you can buy one of those little home metal detectors.
Yeah.
How much is that gold worth? Let's give the
But that's electronics, so that's science, so we have to reject that altogether.
So, I have, at our show, at the Penn and Teller show at the Rio, we have people come to us fairly often after the show. You know, we're rather open about that, and talk about how they had changed their side. Now, these aren't people who were proponents of this. These are people who were just watching at home. But we do have people that can get information. A friend of mine, Lawrence O'Donnell, says the definition of an intellectual is someone who can change their mind when given facts.
Yeah. Well, no, this happens, Ben. There's no question of that. But not with the believers, with the dyed-in-the-wool believers, the dowsers particularly. They're so convinced, the ideomotor reaction, which is what they're suffering from, look it up on my webpage, is so strong with them that they, I think, cannot be unconvinced of it. There's no way you can do that. And that's based on experience of thousands of cases like this all over the world.
Now, I have read, I believe, all your books. I've read most everything you've written, and I've talked with you for hours, and this question just popped into my head, and I don't think I've ever heard you answer it. What is the biggest thing you ever changed your mind on?
Oh, boy.
What is the deepest belief that you held that you were wrong about?
Hard to say now. I've never been posed with that question.
That may be an essay question. That may be a take-home one. But, my mom became an atheist in her 80s.
Oh, really?
In her 80s. And what pushed her over the top was discussions with the family forever, but also because her church was treating their lesbian minister in a really bad way.
Really?
And she just, all of a sudden, for some reason, that hypocrisy crushed down upon her. And to protect this pastor that they liked very much, she started rethinking and finally just came out in the last 3 or 4 years of her life and said, I don't think there's anything to this whole God thing. And I was just in awe. As I said earlier, I'm a mama's boy anyway. I've always been very close to my mom. But the fact that she was able to find something that deep, that had been that part of her life, and just go,
Yeah.
I don't think so. And it was probably you could look at it as maybe a 40-year process in talking to me, but the actual process that happened was 2 or 3 weeks.